Hello everybody! Today I thought I was gonna do a little Makeup Mekka haul. I know I did this just some weeks ago, but I ordered a few more things. One of the items in here is a bit more autumny, and it is not autumn, it's midsummer, but I love autumn times and I didn't really have a lot of colors for that, so because of the sale, just a few bits and pieces more. So I thought I was just gonna create a makeup look with the new stuff and some of my old stuff. I'll probably just fast pace over all the old stuff so we can go over the new stuff together. I thought this would be a bit of fun and I hope you enjoyed the video. It always comes in this satisfying plastic bit. I think I went over the look of it last time, but it also has this zipper. So the first thing that I got was this contour palette. It is wrapped in plastic, so I'm just gonna take that off quickly. So it's a face cream contour palette. It says on the back that it's infused with nurturing coconut oil and jojoba. It has a really good big mirror and just 4 contour colors, one really dark, one medium dark, and 2 light shades. I don't know if you're usually applying this with like a sponge, but I thought I was just gonna try with a sponge. I don't know if you saw my last video with Makeup Mekka products, but at least I tried to squeeze out a bit more water from these sponges this time, because I think I did that a little bit too little last time. Since this has a mirror, I can just use that one. I'm just taking this like angled sponge and I'm just gonna shape my nose, my cheek, and where I want it, and then I think I'm gonna buff it out with a brush or maybe a sponge. We'll see. I'm going straight in with the darkest shade just to see how it looks. And I'm just gonna try the lighter dark shade. Okay, it does look really uneven still, but I'm just gonna point out that the darker shade will look a bit colder in tone, so I think that's better for sculpting. And the warmer, bit lighter brown shade is way too warm for my skin color to be anything other than a tan. So I don't want to use that to sculpt my face. I'm just gonna try to blend this a bit out. I'm gonna try to use this 8-shaped little spongy because it's really soft. Okay, so honestly I don't see that much of a difference yet, so I'm just gonna try to apply a bit more because I was really light-handed at the first testing out. So I'm just gonna apply more of the darkest shade, at least around my nose and my cheeks. I'm gonna test out to blend this out with a brush, maybe it keeps more of the pigment. Okay, it definitely kept more. I'm just gonna try to just apply with the brush, maybe that's even better. Because I'm gonna say that this stays better when you use a brush applied, but I think it's harder to blend out too, so it's easier that you see a line from where you began. So you probably have to be more careful with a brush, but I think if you want any good payoff, you should definitely use one. I'm gonna see if I can do some of the lighter shades too, at least at my nose. I'm just really dabbing in with a little small sponge. And I'm just going in with a little bigger sponge to just blend that out a bit better. I do need to say that I really prefer the lightest shade to the 2 dark ones. If you use a brush in this palette, the palette will get really dirty and nasty. It already looks a bit like messy everywhere. But yeah, I felt like the lighter shade really helped clean up and make it brighter. So I don't know how much I'm gonna use this, but I think if you actually are going to sculpt your face and go all in with makeup, I think this will be really fun to have. I think that's everything I'm gonna do with this palette for now. The next thing that I have from this haul is eyebrows and eyeshadow, so I'm just gonna do the rest of my face real fast. Okay, then we can finally go over to the next thing that I bought, and it's the Maximum Brows Brow Thickening Gel. I really wanted to try something more for my brows, so that's why I had something brow related in the last haul too. I thought this would be fun. I'm not sure if I should use this with some brow pomade or something underneath, but I'm just gonna go in with this and see what this does on its own. Oh, it's really small. Okay, so and I just applied it and I had to fix it a tiny bit. So my opinion on this brow gel, I think it's really fast and it fills them so much. I'm really surprised by how much this actually changes my brows. It looks like I've filled them and used time on it. My downside to this is that it was quite messy. You got it places you didn't want and you got it over your brows, and if you have a sparse spot with no hairs, you might have to fill that a tiny bit first, but I think it did a really good job. My eyebrows are the most sparse, like this side here and here. If I were to fill them out with a pencil, I would have filled that a tiny bit more out, but this was really nice. Maybe this and the pen that I got the last time would do a good job together, but you still have to clean up a tiny bit, and that's the biggest fault or downfall for this one, I think. But I like it. I think this will be really nice for fast makeup looks if you just have 5-10 minutes to like whip up a look and then be on the go. This is really time sparing. Yeah, I'm quite happy. I don't know how this wears yet. This is the first time I'm opening this and trying it, so hopefully it lasts a long time. Then the next thing that I got, this is what was a bit more autumny, and it's a eyeshadow palette, and it's the Donut Bakery 9 bits of eyeshadow. Okay, if you can see all the trash, I'm sorry. I'll clean up after this video, but at least it's the 9 donut eyeshadow palette. One is broken, one arrived broken. That's a bit sad. I don't know if you can see that. I'll maybe try to zoom in on it. But the black shade is already smashed, so that's quite sad. From the website, these colors looked quite a bit more vibrant, so I'm a bit sad about that too. It is what it is, I guess. Okay, so based on these colors, I am actually a bit disappointed. This was not as pretty as the website made it look. They are really matte looking and mothy. They aren't really vibrant and fall inspiring purples and yellows as I expected. I think this is a good palette for the brown shades. What do we want to do? I kind of don't want to do a gold look, but this looks like a really nice gold palette. Maybe I'll do a brown ginger spice look. So I'm just starting with the shade Berry. I'll just have to use my mirror because this one didn't have one. I always just apply my eyeshadow a bit messily in the beginning, and then I use more time blending when I got everything down, or more of a plan of how I want it. So that was just the shade Berry. It looks quite pretty on the skin, I'm gonna say. It's not vibrant. Then I'm just going with my finger on the shade Ginger Spice. I'm really happy with that shade. It's really glittery and pretty. I think this will be such a lovely like fall color to use. And I think I'm just gonna blend those two shades together with some of the chili chocolate color. Okay, so the eyeshadow colors actually really remind me of a chocolate cherry, or just the feeling of chocolate cherry, because it's a really chocolatey brownish look. You also get those reds and purpley shades from the cherry. I quite like this. I think it will be a really cute autumn palette, even though it doesn't look that festive from just looking at it. And I'm also a tiny bit sad that there's not a lighter sparkly color in here. I would never make a palette from scratch myself without that like shimmery crease, not crease, but like the tear duct color. I'm missing that. I'm gonna try to use the peanut glaze color in my tear duct to see if that can just brighten up the look a tiny bit. It wasn't really light enough. I do go with the autumn color theme, but I think I'm just gonna use another palette's light whiter shade. It's a white with gold like shimmer, and I think that will suit this formula quite well. It actually annoys me quite a lot that not every palette's something in my throat. It quite annoys me that not every palette comes with a light highlighting tear duct shade, because I can't just travel with this or most of my pre-made palettes. The palette that I use the most is my Colourpop self-made, where you pick the colors or the shades. And then I have two light shades that I can use, one for cold tones and one for warm tones. And that just brightens up the eye a tiny bit. At least I like like a popping eye. Not popping eye, you don't want your eye to pop out, but you know what I mean, where you just like get all the attention to the eyes. I just love that. So moving on to the next thing that I got a little lip liner. I've been using a liquid liner for quite a long time, and I remember using a gel liner when I was younger, and I just really preferred it back then. So I don't know why I stopped. I hope I didn't have a good reason, but at least I bought a new one, and it's just the Makeup Mekka gel liner. I guess they only have one since it doesn't look like it has more names. Oh, that was hard. Okay, I got it off. And I bought it with this pencil because for some weird reason the gel with the pencil was on sale, but the gel was not. So if you were to buy the gel alone, it would have been more expensive right now than these two together. I don't know if I'm gonna use this that much or if I'm gonna use a angled like flat brush, like the one that I often use for eyeshadow. But I'm gonna test this one first since it comes with. It seems really smooth. I'm dabbing down into it apparently. I didn't try to do that, but now we have a hole in the middle. This brush also seems really thick. I don't think I'm gonna be able to make thin, nice point liners with it, but I'll try. I can tell straight away that this is not gonna be my favorite brush to apply this. Okay, so the eyeshadow wasn't as forgiving as I had hoped, so it still looks a bit messy. I would have gone in with something more like this, that's a bit more tiny, because this is quite thick compared to it. I have some positives and negatives. I definitely don't like this applier. This pencil is way too thick, so if you like a really thick liner with not a sharp edge, that might be good. But on the eyeliner's hand, it is not really forgiving, so it's hard to try to remove. If you have eyeshadow underneath, you're gonna mess up everything around it if you try to remove this. But I really like the intensity of how black it is, and it looks really matte and just like stunning. It is quite striking and dark, and I prefer it that way. So for me, I am definitely gonna try to start using this. I definitely think it's easier to apply it with a pencil than just a dip liner. I also bought some of these lighter eyeliners. These are for the waterline. Okay, so I haven't really had any liners where I need sharpies since high school. Now I do, so I wanted to test this out. I was hoping that the nude shade was a tiny bit lighter than my skin tone. I don't actually know if it is, but I got the white just in case because I want to use this in like a waterline. So I'm just gonna try the nude shade first and see how it looks on me. I always used to do this trick where you use a either light nude or a white in the waterline to make your eyes look bigger. I feel like I do get a tiny bit of that effect. I don't know if it's quite as much as I had hoped. I'm just gonna try the white one on the other eye. Okay, so I definitely think the white one does more than the nude one. You do have to apply this quite a lot before you see any pigmentation of it come up. I don't know if I would say that these are any good. They definitely do work, but they need a lot of time, so they're quite time consuming. They could have been a lot more pigmented and a lot more smoother to apply. And also because you have to use it so many times or reapply so many times to get the pigmentation, they also get quite dirty by the rest of your makeup if anything is close by. So you probably have to smear the dirt off or just have a little towel close by to just clean it. These are definitely not worth the full price, but I got them at a really good sale, so I'm happy that I got them. If I were to re-buy light liners, I would definitely test out another brand. They're okay, but they're not really worth your time. Okay, so this is the finished look with all the new products. I must say that I'm a tiny bit more disappointed in this haul. The contour palette didn't really live up to my expectations. I did get it there at the end, I felt like, but I had to try and make it visible so hard. So I feel like that was more effort than it should have been. It just could have been a bit more pigmented. Also, the eyeshadows, they don't look as vibrant in the palette as they looked at the website, so that's a bit disappointing, even though they do look nice on the eyes. So I'm happy with them, but there was also a smashed shade and they did pack it nicely. It came in this little plasticky bubbly thing, but I guess somewhere along the shipping it smashed. I don't know if that's their fault or just shipping company, but it's always sad when you get something that's tiny bit broken. Luckily it was the black shade and I use black eyeshadow really rarely or even never. It's okay, this is that shadow, but if it were any of the other pretty shades I would have been too sad. The gel liner, I honestly just wanted this. I bought it with the pencil because it was cheaper with the pencil, but I honestly hate the pencil. It's too thick. You can't really get any good results with it, I feel like. I think the angle is nice to apply with. It helps you get the even wing if you need that, but just the application brush part is too thick. I don't see how you're supposed to make anything fine or defined by this, so I'm not gonna use this. I'm gonna use this. I liked this quite a lot. I just really love how you can use whatever you prefer to apply gel liner, and I do like the finished look. I think it always looks a bit more intense than normal liner or other types of liner. These liners, I got them really cheap. They were for sale to 20 kroners, that's about £2, and normally they do cost 99, I think, if I'm not wrong, and I would definitely not spend 99 kroners on any of these. I think 20 is the maximum I actually would price these at because they're not really pigmented. They're quite hard. They should be softer, smoother, and more pigmented in my opinion. But as always, I really do like their packaging. It's really cute and simplistic. I think that's everything for now. I hope you enjoyed this makeup look, and I hope you found it interesting or got some knowledge or made your opinion if you're considering buying any of this. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you soon. Bye!